Let's go. All right, good morning, everybody. It's your man, student Dr. Malachi Wright, and I'm back at you all with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you all with me to the NIH, where I am doing my summer research as a summer intern fellow. I'm going to be showing you guys what a day in the life looks like for me. Unfortunately, this is not the typical day in the life because some things popped up throughout the day, but I'll talk to you guys about that a little later in the video. Right now, I'm getting ready to go to the gym. You guys know I have a 6 a.m. routine or 6 a.m. date with the gym. So let's head there and I'll take you all through the rest of my day. Girlfriend's already here. Typically, we come to the gym together in the morning, but she woke up a little earlier today. And y'all know me, I was a little too tired, so I stayed in the bed for like another 10 minutes. But usually we go to the gym in the morning together. So let's head inside, see what has in store, see what the gym has in store for us today.
Hey.
So, all right, y'all. So typically when I'm at the gym, I'm starting off with doing some form of cardio. This morning was a Stairmaster. I did 40-something minutes, and I did about 200 floors. Typically, I try to do at least 35 minutes of cardio. Then I move down to the weights. Once I get to the weights, I typically try to hit at least one workout with my backs, another workout with my shoulders, and another one with biceps, then a little bit of legs, then chest. And then we call it a wrap. So about 35 minutes in total for the cardio and about 30 minutes in total for strength training. And then we're up out of there, guys. So, yep. All right, so during this time, I'm basically getting my lunch and my breakfast ready to go. Thankful for my girlfriend for making me breakfast this morning. We typically alternate depending on whoever is the first one out of the shower. And then I have my brother here in the shot as well. He's getting ready to go to work. He works at a law firm in D.C. for his summer associateship. And we're both heading out of here, and my girlfriend's going to school. So we're getting our day started, guys. Let's head down there. So I'm on my way to the NIH right now. Thankful to my girlfriend for making me breakfast this morning. I truly appreciate that. Jordan, if you're watching, I appreciate you. Typically, whoever is the first one like out the shower or whoever is like the first one back from the gym will typically make breakfast for each other. And it's like simple breakfast. I usually eat on my way down to NIH. Since it's like an hour and like maybe 10-hour, 20-minute drive, sometimes an hour, 30 minutes in the morning time. It can vary. Since I'm coming from Baltimore, it is kind of far. But I typically eat my breakfast in the morning while I drive. So this morning, I'm eating my breakfast while I'm driving and also vlogging. So extreme multitasking. All right, so one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about today was exactly how I got this summer internship. So for those who don't know, when you go to a dental school, typically any dental school, but more specifically here at the University of Maryland, you have something called a BIG. And a BIG is a person who is basically like a mentor to help guide you through D1 year and pretty much just to be a friend to you when you need help, et cetera, during D1 and into the future. So I don't know who my little is going to be, but if you're watching this video, then just know that's basically what my job is, essentially. So my big goes by the name of Dr. Jeremy Oliver Pina, and he is a D3 now at the University of Maryland, and he is actually working in a research lab with Dr. Suna at the NIH. So you all know my philosophy, and that philosophy is, a closed mouth does not get fed. So I was really interested in getting into the research scene, but I haven't really done any research before, so I wasn't really too sure about what research there was to do, exactly what topics I wanted to think about and look at, et cetera, et cetera. So I reached out to somebody who I knew had an extensive amount of research, which was Jeremy, and someone who was also a mentor to me. So I asked him what research project he was working on and if he knew any faculty at the school that could help me get involved with research. He told me that he's doing research in the NIH and there's multiple faculty members at the school. And he told me to look into this summer internship fellowship program that they had at the NIH. And he was going to try to get me into his lab with a paid internship. And I said, yeah, definitely. And the application closed like 2 or 3 days before we had this correspondence. So I hurry up. I got my recommendation letters. I submitted my application, and then about a month later, I received a notification that I was accepted. So I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. Right now, we're doing a lot of research. More specifically, Jeremy and the team that's there, Jeremy, Resmi, HN, partner, like all of them are, they're just fantastic people, and I really love this research lab because they're all postdocs, and they're just so knowledgeable, and they're so kind. Like they help you out. They have no problem explaining things more than one time. If you're not too sure about what a process is supposed to do, if you make a mistake, like they're not on your back about it. Like they're fully aware that mistakes happen, and that's the process of learning. So they're making this transition really seamless. This is my fourth week here, and I'll honestly say from day one, like I've grown so much, and it's really all due to them, Jeremy, obviously, and I truly appreciate this experience. I think research is something that every single dental student should do to some degree, and I say this because we don't necessarily know in like school like how much the clinical side of dentistry really relies on the research that people like Jeremy and Dr. Resmi and Dr. HN, everyone in the lab do to ensure that we have valuable information that we can elucidate to our patients. And actually going through the research project and doing a poster presentation myself, and actually like reading the articles, understanding the figures, and like obviously like essentially conducting research has really been profound in understanding what that process is, what goes behind it, and exactly how I'm analyzing, how I'm reviewing these research papers to help elucidate the most efficient information for my future patients. So with all that being said, like all those things really continue to cultivate my understanding of dentistry and my comfortability for what I want to do in the future for my patients. So, if you have the opportunity to do a research program like at your school, I know a lot of people at my institution, University of Maryland, that is, are doing research in the school and some of the professors' research labs. I think I'm the only one who's offsite doing something at NIH in my class, at least. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I think it's always a great opportunity to get involved in things outside of school, and I think research is definitely one that's important. If you're like a college student or a high school student and you want to get involved, they also have college and high school students who do this summer internship program as well. We don't have any college or high school students in my lab per se, but there are a lot of like pre-med students, like definitely pre-med students who are at the NIH doing research right now. And it's really good. It's a good environment for them. Some of them are also post not post backs. I think they are post backs. I can't remember. I think pre-docs are the correct term. I'm not sure, but they're either postbacks or predocs, and these are students who completed or finished undergrad and are trying to get into medical school, but are doing something in the interim in terms of like research. So the NIH actually gives them like $2,000 to help pay for their study material for the MCAT. They help pay for the MCAT examination, and they really just provide them with a lot of support in taking the MCAT exam. So if you are a student and you live in this area, like the DMV area, I would really look into like NIH if you're thinking about taking a gap year or something like that, to really make sure that you can really focus on like what you're doing in terms of like studying for the MCAT and stuff and all those good old things. Um, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like I remember student Dr. Eli telling me that he did something like this. And if Eli's watching this video, shout out to him. Let me know if you did this. I can't remember if he did, but for those who don't know, student Dr. Eli is also a dental YouTuber. If you're looking at my channel, I'm quite sure you've seen his. Check out his latest videos. He's in his D4 year. He's on the last round here. But yeah, it's always something that's good to look into, doing some research and finding those avenues where you're going to get people, especially like the government, to help you out. When avenues, that's super important. And talking about the government, I'm not politically inclined to talk about this on my YouTube channel, but I was watching that debate yesterday between Donald Trump and President Biden, and it's just so funny seeing like these two old guys like go at it back and forth. Their correspondence is just hilarious to me. But yeah, if you guys aren't informed about what's going on in terms of politics in your country and you're from like America, like watch a YouTube video, like take some time to actually understand what's going on in your country. I mean, I'm a hypocrite because I don't understand completely, but I definitely try to take some time to like watch the presidential debates and like look at clips of like important things that they're talking about, because you really want to be aware about what's going on in your country. I think that's important. And if you didn't learn anything from this video, definitely try to employ that in your life. Take about 10 or 15 minutes every single day to just try to figure out what's going on. And that's pretty much it. So I'm about an hour away right now. I'm on this beltway, so I'm not gonna bore you guys anymore with this. I probably spend this time like usual, either listening to an ebook, watching some videos, or watching some Pathoma. And I'll tell you guys a little bit later about why I'll be watching some Pathoma videos. But yeah, I'm gonna spend this time doing that and get back to you guys in a little bit. So I'll see you all when I arrive at the facility. How you doing, my man? What you lost? All right, y'all. So during this part of my day, typically it's around like 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:20. I'm logging into my computer using my ID. I'm going to check my emails, make sure that there's nothing extremely pertinent that I need to get done first thing in the morning time. Then I'm going to go through my Notion planner to make a schedule for what I'm going to be doing today in terms of bench work and also in terms of like studying and YouTube, different things of that nature, and also for my job. I have some watermelon water that the lady that was downstairs gave me, which is super awesome. And this is my fellow coworker, Evan, as well. You guys will see Evan in another video where he's going to be talking about his experience at Columbia University. Here we're just talking about some of the things we have planned for the lab today. We have to do with cell culture. Also, a lot of the members of the lab were sick with COVID. That's why you guys see me with a mask on. And unfortunately, the lab did end up getting shut down for the duration of the week, which is fine. But we're going to be back and better than ever next week. I was fortunate enough not to test positive for COVID, and same with Evan. But some other members of the lab did. So, we're wishing them a speedy recovery. And let's get into the show culture that we had to do here today, guys.
There's how many mLs we have? That's 20, so we're good. And that's
All right. These are the instructions that we're following.
this is FBS. I don't think we do that. We just need to know.
No. That's all right, so essentially all we're doing here is changing out the medium for the cell culture here. Since some of the other laboratory members were not able to come in and do this, this was something that Evan and I did for the first time by ourselves today. I did this a little bit in undergrad too, but not to a certain degree that we did today. Then after this, I went through and I looked at analyzing some of the xenium and some of the RNA-scope data that I had from last week. Let me give you guys a full detailed infograph, I guess, on everything that I'm doing for my project here at a little later time. So it wouldn't be anytime around today. All right, y'all. So we kind of have a abrupt type of transition here. Obviously, I'm back home. So to fill you all in a little bit, like I was talking about before, some of the individuals that were at the lab previously did test positive for COVID. We did get word from the director of the lab that we did have to pretty much shut down the lab for a week. Only one person can be in there at a time. So we ended up all having to leave a little bit earlier that day. We were waiting for a couple of packages that were temperature sensitive to come in, and then we made sure that we transitioned and left for the day. Um, so basically, for the next week, we're all going to be working from home, which is essentially going to be analyzing our data from home, having some Zoom meetings and stuff like that to make sure that we discuss what the next plans are for these projects. Obviously, this is something that is summer fellowship or summer internship, so it is time sensitive, but the relationships that we are building are going to be ones that are going to be lasting throughout the duration of, I believe, my academic career at least. So this is something that's a little fluid, so I'm not too disappointed or discouraged about it, but I'm really eager to see what's also to come in the future. If you watched this video to this point so far, please be sure to like this video or comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. A couple of things are coming down the pipeline for me. For those who heard me earlier, you heard me say that I was, going to do some study, going to do some review that day. And that's because right now I'm in a unique period in my life where, for all transparency, I don't really know what I want my next steps to be after dental school. I'm in thinking about different specialties and what I may be interested in, really reflecting on my reasoning for going into dentistry and like really thinking about what type of dentistry I want to practice is all major important things for me. At the course of thinking right now for me, in regards to where I stand right now, if I were to specialize, I think a specialty that would really interest or that has me interested is going to be oral surgery, so OS. I'm not 100% sure if I want to make that time commitment to OS though, and that's solely because I don't know if I just solely want to do surgery in my practice. So if you know any oral surgeons, let me know. I've been doing a lot of shadowing this summer, been consulting with some people, talking to some residents, really trying to figure out why they wanted to do oral surgery and what their plans are, and then really comparing those to some general dentists as well who did like GPR programs and who are practicing in the general dentistry type of domain of dentistry here. So obviously I'm open to multiple different specialties. I haven't really done much research into like ortho or endo and stuff like that. Personally, and this is my opinion, I do believe that, during your first year of dental school, you don't really get as much exposure to different specialties. So if you're not coming from a background where like you have like close relatives or, someone who you really were close to that was a specialist, and you didn't come into dentistry like knowing that you wanted to do dentistry because of a specialty that you saw, then you likely won't know enough about a specialty to make a big decision like choosing something like OS, where you have to study for a CBSE exam and do another 4 or 6 years after dentistry or after dental school to dedicate to specialized surgical training. So for me, I'm really trying to weigh out all my different options here, trying to fill out which one I really resonate with the most, and then go from there. So essentially, my approach is a little different. I've talked to a lot of different residents, and they pretty much advise taking the summer, like this summer. Well, not residents, but like dental students, and then dental students and some residents as well. They pretty much advise taking this summer to study for the CBSC, like 10, 12 hours a day, and then take the test in February. And if you don't do well during that test, then you have July, and then you can just keep testing until you get the score that you want. You guys know me, I'm a pretty fluid person. I have a lot of things I'm juggling right now. And personally, I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing on YouTube or reeling what I'm doing at work or the research that I'm doing or even the community service that I do and the community engagement that I do at like church and stuff like that, to really dedicate 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day to studying for the CBFC. So after having that conversation with myself and really realizing what I want to do and thinking about like what I want my probably my first and my last summer in dental school to be like, I realized that I'm going to study for this exam, but I'm not going to study for it as aggressively as I probably should, due to the fact that I just want to continue to do the other things that I do in my life, like making sure that I have the relationships that I cultivated, making sure that I sustain my job, and I'm mentoring all these different students, like making sure that I do those things because those things are things that really bring me joy and things that I really will love to do. So I'm going to be balancing that while also at least studying for the CBSC for about 2 to 3 or 4 hours a day, just to get a feel for what's going to be on the exam if I do choose to go down that route. And then later on, if I do choose to 100% commit to that route, I would have had some preparation into what I should be looking for, how I should be studying, and things of that nature while getting into studying for this exam. And if I don't, if I choose to do something else, then I won't have any regrets about feeling like I wasted or I spent my whole first summer studying for an exam that I don't even need to take. So yeah, with all that being said, hope that that makes sense to you all. But yeah, I was a little hesitant to make this video because it's something that I'm really unsure about. And for most part, I'm pretty certain about what I like to do, what I want to do, and where I want to go. And this is one domain in my life where I'm not too sure about what the next step is, and that's okay. But I want to make sure whatever decision I'm making it for the right reason, not because of just a interest in an area, but for the patients that I'll be providing care to in the near future, and making sure that I'm doing it for the reasons of helping patients and making sure that I can be of service to them in that capacity. And I think that when reflecting on those things and making a decision based off of how I can impact someone's life and what capacity of impact I want to have in their life, that's really what I'm reflecting on when I'm deciding what decision I want to make. A lot of people go into specialties for wrong reasons. It could be money, it can be self-aggrandizement, whatever it is. At the end of the day, my personal belief, I believe that we're here to serve. And in serving, that means providing care to patients, providing care to a community, whatever that is. And for me, in the capacity that I'm serving right now, I do believe that that capacity is something that I want to continue to do. And I don't really want to sacrifice that to commit 10 or 12 hours of studying for an exam. So I'm going to play the long game here. I'm going to break it up a little bit, piece by piece. Depending on how comfortable I am with my understanding of wanting to pursue a career in oral surgery or OS, I'm going to start a series where I go through my day-to-day study style and the topics that I'm studying every single day for this specific exam. And solely because a lot of students who are trying to do OS, and I haven't seen like any YouTubers or anyone like that in the dental realm who's really talking about like what to use, how to study, study schedules and stuff of that nature. So I want to really break that down and scaffold that in a way of which I can show my journey into that specific field if I choose to, and what my thought process is going into choosing this type of residency path. So with that being said, who knows, I may be looking back at this video a couple of years from now thinking like, wow, like I'm an oral surgeon or I'm a general dentist. And I remember that time where I was uncertain about what decision I wanted to make. But I do believe that in order to put yourself through something as rigorous as this, you really need to know. And for me, I think that, understanding will come once I have more patient interactions, once I start doing certain procedures, trying to fill out what I really like. But now in the interim, I might as well just try to prepare myself as much as I can with the content and also with engagement in the community and the stuff that I'm doing to make sure that I'm fulfilling my needs and also scaffolding what I'm doing to fit a specific goal. So with all that being said, guys, that's pretty much a brief update on me, what I'm doing this summer so far. I have been doing my mentorship program, so I've been mentoring a whole bunch of pre-dental students on the DAT prep, making sure that they have a well-rounded application for the dental school that they can apply to. I've also been doing some consulting with medical students, which includes mock interviews, residency application reviews, stuff like that. I'm getting into some social media work for my job as well. And obviously I'm doing this YouTube thing, doing some research, and being involved in that capacity. Research is definitely something that's really opened my eyes to a lot. If you guys really do enjoy this content and if you guys want to see me make some more videos on specific topics, please let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out. And 4th of July is coming up, so enjoy the holiday weekend that we have as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.